1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I hit the low note that time. Maybe I started off at a higher pitch. Maybe that's what's it. Maybe that's what's up. How are my levels? 1. Okay. That's the way to find out how your levels are. Switch betwixt the one and the other. Okay, where are we? Okay, I see somebody's joined us. Multiple people have joined us. Multiple people have joined us. In which case, excuse me, I believe it's time to start the music. Allow me to start the music and I'll now set the intro up. Where are we? Okay, so for anybody who's new, you are in tune to Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. Where's the music? Let's get some volume on this baby. Okay. Should be able to hear it just a little bit. Okay. So, you are in tune to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And the name of the show is... Okay. I think that's an acceptable level. How are my levels? How are my levels? The name of the show is... Where are we? It's Boxing Talk with Raphie. Episode 42. And we are live. Okay. And in the house, in the building, is the Roo. No, it's the Toby Bartlett. Hall monitor on the case. It's the Roo, the 504. It's the Heinrich Schmitz. What a voice. It's the Heinrich Schmitz from Germany. And the red-gloved militant. Who else we got? Who else do we have? Okay, that's all the names that I've got. Okay, an unnamed visitor or visitors. Okay, how are my levels? How are my levels? Okay, where are we? Okay, not got any responses yet. Happy Labor Day, says Rue. We don't have that over here, my friend, but happy Labor Day to you, our USA friends. Okay, so where are we? Let me just send a link out. Let me send a link out. Okay. Trying to avoid hit the microphone stand. Let me get this link out. Thank you for your about, mate. Boom. 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 Okay. Right, where are we? Okay, so we sent a link out. Let's get a link. Let's send a link in the chat. Okay. That's the link. Levels sound good to you. Okay, let me go into the back room, make sure everything is appropriate. Yeah, levels seem good. Levels seem good. Let me just take the music level down one touch. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is Boxing Talk with Raphie, episode 42. And as you may have noticed, I was a little bit tad later than usual. That's because I was at work a little bit tad later than usual. So it pushed everything back, including my evening meal, which you know is quite simply a must. One needs energy for this shizzle. But I am fueled. I am charged. I am ready. I'm ready for this shizzle. I'm ready for this shizzle. What are we talking about in the chat? Oh, the Tash. Heinrich's Tash. Okay. Let's get into this. So, dinner was splendid. It was a Mexican affair. I took out the excess jalapenos. Don't need no excess jalapenos. You know, got the balance right. So the balance was good. The balance was good indeed. Okay, so where do I begin? Where do I begin? I've got my list. I've got my list up in here. Where do I start? Where do I start? Okay, we got people in the building. If you're new in, you haven't smashed the like button yet, smash the like button, please. Smash that like button, please. Light it up. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm not into tashes, my friend. I'm not into tashes, my friend. No. Keep that clean upper lip. Keep the upper lip clean for me, but the tash suits you. The tash suits you. Okay, what a weekend we have had. What a weekend we have had. A weekend of boxing. We had the Campbell Lomachenko card. So we're going to be talking about the Campbell Lomachenko card. We're also going to be touching on some accessory shizzle. Some shizzle accessory to that. Or external. Still relating to boxing. There's a few topics that need touching on. What we talking about, Don ZB? Let me put the link in the chat for Don ZB. Just in case he's available. Just in case he is available. We're talking about multiple things. Starting off with, there's the link, Don ZB. And for anybody else who wants to jump on. We started talking about boxing. We're starting off talking about the weekend card at the O2 Arena, London. And where do I begin? Where do we start? We start with I think we're going to start with, well, let me bring up the card. So I got my playlist. The card will be my playlist. Lomachenko v. Campbell. Full card. Undercard. Let's have a look. Show me. Show me. Okay, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Got it. Got it. Marveloso. Okay. Boom. Close that. Okay. So, where are we? Big boys boxing in the building. In the building as we speak. When he gets situated, he will let me know. How you doing, Big Boys Boxing?
Not too bad, Raphie, and yourself?
I'm good, man. He's a pro. Straight in there. Straight in there. He's a pro. Okay, this is excellent. I was a bit late at work today, so everything's been pushed back. My evening meal, which is mandatory, got pushed back. Everything got pushed back, but we're ready. We're ready. We're firing. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Okay, so without much further ado, we're going to start now. Anybody who hasn't smashed the like button already, but you're enjoying the show, even though we've just started, please feel free to smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, hit that Twitter link, which is in the description box, and by all means, feel free. Don't be shy to hit the donate button. Okay, remember, talking about the donation, remember, this card was brought to you. The PPV Fight Companion was brought to you courtesy of the guys who contributed to money, put money in the pot. The pay-per-view was paid for by that money, which was generously put in the pot by some of our gracious subscribers, some of your fellow gracious subscribers. All it takes is a beer, the price of a pint of beer per month, and we are good. We are good. So, without further delay, let's talk about this. Did you see the Big Boys Boxing? Did you see the Savannah Marshall versus Danielle Bastieri fight?
That fight was just finishing as I was crawling out of bed at 5:30 on Sunday morning.
5:30 Sunday morning. Blimey, call blimey. That's when the pay-per-views usually finish for us. That's when the American pay-per-views usually finish for us. That's when we go into bed. And so it's role reversal kind of thing. Let me see if I can share this page. Uno momento. Share the screen. Boom. Let's go entire. Oh, I gotta go there. I gotta go there. Then I've got to go over there. Okay. Can you see that screen on there? Is that showing up? Let me get my mobile out so I can see what everybody else can see.
Yeah, man, it's there.
It's there. It's there. It's there. Okay. So I'll talk about the Savannah. I'll talk about the Savannah Marshall. I'll talk about the Savannah Marshall fight while this thing is loading up my old tablet. Poor thing can't take the pace no more of the new technology. Okay, so Savannah Marshall, where is she? There we go. Savannah Marshall versus Danielle Bastieri. Danielle Bastieri, they met before in the amateurs. Savannah Marshall beat her there, and yeah, it was. I'll be honest, it's the first time I've ever watched a Savannah Marshall fight. She's trained by Peter Fury. And it was interesting. It was interesting. She was apparently she can go from orthodox. She can go from orthodox to unorthodox, and yeah, she looked very comfortable in there. Very comfortable in there. But I'm not going to stay on this one too long, so I'm just going to jump straight in and tell you what I felt about it. If I'm brutally honest, I felt that she was, even though she had a lot of shoulder movement and whatnot, a little bit of the Hughie Furies and whatnot, and switch hitting and whatnot. I did feel as if she was open. She didn't. Danielle Bastieri was unable to capitalize on it, so maybe she's not as open as she appeared to be to me. But she did seem, for me, uncomfortably open. that won't be a factor right now, but later on, deeper as she gets deeper into the game, I feel that may be a factor. I think I prefer to see a tighter guard. I prefer to see things tighter, even though the opponent was not up to her standard. I still like to see the basic principles of defense being employed. But like I said, it's the first time I've watched her, so who knows? Maybe she was uncharacteristically open on that occasion. Perhaps that could be a factor, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. She's loose with the hands. She's obviously very comfortable in the ring, and she's being highly touted. So yeah, she's one to watch. Apparently, she's the only person. Is she the only person? I think the only person to beat Clarissa Shields. And I think that happened in the amateurs. That happened in the amateurs, and so yeah, that's something that obviously Clarissa Shields wishes to address, correct. And so down the line, we know for sure we're going to see Clarissa Shields in a big one. Okay, so I've got my pad working now. I can see everything that you guys can see. So that was my breakdown of Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall stopped Danielle Bastieri. I think it was in the third round. Was it the third round or the fourth round? Something of that description. Okay, and so I can see we've been joined by the PED. We have been joined by the PED. Good evening, PED. Think you're just shaking off your evening nap? You're just shaking off your evening nap? Good to have you in the house. Okay, and so from that, we move to which direction we going into? Okay, Joe Cordina versus Gavin Gwynn for the British and Commonwealth Lightweight Championship. You wanna have a go on that?
Yeah, man. I thought it was a pretty decent fight to watch. I thought it was a lot closer than what came out on the cards. I thought it was like 7-5, maybe 8-4. But I thought Gwyn was putting in some good work and maybe exceeded many's expectations. I thought the commentary was particularly favorable towards Joe Cordina.
Yeah.
But I think the right man did win at the end of the day, just a bit wider on the cards than it actually was.
Yeah. I didn't start the my live until the Joshua Boatsi fight. So when did I saw some of that Joe Cordina fight? Saw some of the Joe Cordina. Popped out, came back in, and the Boatsi fight was just about to start. But the little bit of it that I did catch, the Joe Cordina versus Gavin Gwynn. Yeah, that's something I observed also. The commentators were singing Joe Cordina's, singing his praises, and every time I stopped to glimpse at the screen to see what they were talking about, it looked pretty even to me. It looked pretty even to me. There wasn't the wide disparity of talent that they were talking about or implying in the commentary. So I think the commentary was very biased towards Joe Cordina in that one, for whatever reason, or maybe there was a reason, maybe there wasn't a reason, or it was just the three commentators were just on the same side singing Joe Cordina's praises. Whereas every time I looked at the screen, Gavin Gwynn seemed to be doing pretty decently. So yeah, Joe Cordina wins that on points. 116 to 10, 110, 116 to 110, and 116 to 111. So pretty conclusive. I see Cass in the building. What does Cass have to say? Charlie Edwards sold that body shot like he was going for an Oscar.
He did.
Oh dear, Cass, please, you can do better than that, surely. You can do better than that. Hit that donate button, Cass. Oh man. Okay, so moving on very, very swiftly. We go into the let me check to make sure there's nobody in here that I haven't missed. No. Okay, it's as it should be. Okay. We're going swiftly into the Charlie Edwards versus Julio Cesar Martinez. You want to lead off with that one, big
Yeah,
boy?
man.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good fight. Personally, I didn't know much about Martinez prior to the fight, but I'd had a chat to Delboy's Boxing,
Yeah.
and he was telling me a bit about him, so I had to go and do some research, and I ended up putting a bet on that fight and thinking, yeah, Martinez is probably likely to get the knockout here, and
Yeah.
it seemed like I was in the money
Mhm.
until that Mauricio Solomon got in the ring and talked about the video replay. The WBC belt has to be an immediate rematch, and the bookies took their money back off me, so I wasn't too happy about it. But it was an interesting fight. I was quite surprised at how Edwards couldn't really deal with the unorthodox style of Martinez, and it is very unorthodox. For a conventional boxer to fight against that is pretty tough. So
Yeah.
because you don't know what's coming. But the immediate rematch, I think the result is going to be somewhat similar, hopefully without the unintentional foul at the end of it.
What do you think about that foul at the end of it? Do you think it was unintentional?
Well, I don't know. Heat of the moment sometimes. It seemed pretty late though, didn't it? It was like 2 seconds after Edwards' knee was on the ground, so it could have been a disqualification quite easily. Intent. If it's intentional, then it's definitely a disqualification. But as it stands, they're calling unintentional, and we're going to get an immediate rematch. So one way or another, it's going to get sorted out.
Yeah, it's gonna get sorted out. I think I went into the kitchen. I was joined by EJ Boxing at the time. Who else was on? Was it just EJ or was John Daly on? I think John Daly might have been here. John Daly was on at that point as well, I think. And I just gone to the kitchen and get myself a drink, and I heard the excitement, and I came back, and just as I sat in the chair, adjusted my mic, all I saw was Julio Cesar Martinez absolutely lighting up Charlie Edwards with a barrage of shots, a barrage of hooks from the left to the right, to the body, to the head, just lighting him up. And I said, whoa, it's over. Even before he dropped, I said, yo, this is over. And then Charlie Edwards dropped to one knee, both hands on the ground, on the canvas. And Julio Cesar Martinez just followed up with a boom, one to the gut, the rib cage, just for good measure. As if to say, well, now you're finished. And I was shocked and astonished to see the referee just carry on counting, like nothing had happened.
Yeah, it was right in front of him too, wasn't
Right
it?
in front of him. He's facing the action. It's not like it was at an angle. He was right in front of him, square, bang, in front of him. And all he did was he continued fighting, continued counting, sorry. Just continued counting. I thought, what the hell's going on? And then he counted to 10 and waved it off. And I thought, what the hell is that? And I was waiting for them to, for somebody to say something. No, there's been a mistake or something, but nothing. So we were commenting live and saying, what the hell is going on? And then the camera panned over to Mr. Mauricio Suleiman. And he had this grave look on his face, and I thought they approached him with the mic, and I thought, what the hell is he going to say now? What the hell is he going to say now? And Mr. Suleiman said, well, we at the WBC, we have a rule in place for replays, the replay action, and that was not done. But this fight has been declared a no contest, and the crowd roared. We roared, said, "Awesome, brilliant." But then you looked at poor Charlie Edwards and could see he was clearly out of his depth. Clearly out of his depth. And the next time around, when he meets Julio Cesar Martinez next time around, I can't see a different outcome. I just can't see a different outcome. The outcome to me is going to be the same. The only good thing I can think about it for Charlie Edwards is he gets 2 pay packets instead of 1.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But I think Charlie Edwards will probably have nightmares about this guy because he just seems like they were in different leagues.
I'll be interested to see how he prepares for it. I think he needs to get somebody very unorthodox to spar with to try and prepare him for some of what Martinez is going to bring. But having a fighter that unorthodox, it's pretty hard to find someone that's even similar. So I don't know how he's going to go.
I don't know what the hell he's going to do. Apparently, he was having difficulty making the weight, so he said he was weight drained. And he was thinking about moving up, but I don't know if moving up is going to be the answer for Charlie, because he didn't seem to have an overabundance of power at the weight anyway, as it stands. So if he goes up, he's going to be going up against bigger, more powerful guys. So I don't know what the answer is for Charlie Edwards. And even though he's going to get another pay packet for the same fight, I can't see how he's going to relish this. Maybe he could prove us wrong.
Yep. With that moving up in weight, it's a bit of a guessing game with some fighters. If you're struggling to make weight and you do move up, there is the possibility that he could be more powerful because he's not weight drained. But if he's just not stressed out and doesn't have any more power, then he's going to be in some real trouble. So,
yeah.
It's a guessing game, all right.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. So does Charlie Edwards stay at the weight and take the rematch, or does he take the chance and go up in weight? That is the question. And before I move on, Kaz seems to be causing some problems, so let me have a look at what Kaz is doing. I don't even know what a C3PO is. What's a C3PO?
Star Wars, man.
Oh, okay. I saw it when I was a kid. Didn't get it, and left it alone. Didn't get it. Let me see what else Kaz has said. Is Kaz going crazy up in here? Only in the UK could a KO be changed to an. It was your man Mauricio Suleiman. You can't complain about that, Kaz, surely.
Well, that's exactly it. If Mauricio Suleiman, who's from the States, wasn't there, it wouldn't have got changed. So it's nothing to do with the UK.
Nothing to do with the UK, Cass. Nothing to do with the UK. Nothing whatsoever. But I don't think Kaz is being extraordinarily unusual. This is the normal Kaz. This is just the normal. Yeah. Just let Kaz do his normal, usual thing. Okay, so that is we've covered Savannah Marshall. We've covered Joe Cordina versus Gavin Gwynn. For some strange reason, I jumped over Joshua Boatsi, Ryan Ford. I don't know why, but let's get to that now. Did you see that fight, Big Boys Boxing?
Yeah, I did. That was the first fight that I bet on for the day, and I picked the stoppage rounds 5 or 6. So I missed by 1 round.
What was it, round 7?
Round 7. I got up actually after round 6. Got up, went to go and tend to my kids, lost interest all of a sudden because my money was gone. Turn around and hello, the fight's over. So
boom.
unfortunately, I couldn't get groups of 3 rounds through my
Yeah.
bookie. I would have got it, but never mind. I thought Joshua Boazzi was being quite cautious for the first few rounds. But to be fair, what's his name? Ryan Ford was actually doing not too bad himself. So um, it was probably pretty good tactics from Boazzi to try and break him down a bit before landing something big. And credit to him, he moves on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. Um, we had EJ Boxing in the building at the time. We're chopping up with him, and he said that he didn't feel that Boazzi carried the pop, had enough pop. But I think moments later, he showed the pop.
Yeah.
He showed the pop and dropped. What's this guy's name? Ryan Ford. Had you heard of Ryan Ford before? I'd never heard of the guy.
Yeah, I've heard of him, but
Seen him? Have you seen him before?
I've seen him fight like once. I wasn't
Okay. Yeah.
not a big follower of him. So
No. It was a new name to me. Uh, New name to me. Ryan Ford, but apparently he's more of an MMA guy. Switched from MMA to boxing.
yeah,
And he acquitted himself quite well, I believe. He had 3 weeks' notice, and he came to scrap.
yeah. You've only got to go and look through his record and notice that he's actually pretty durable. That's why I thought Boazzi would get some rounds out of him at the very least. But all in all, I thought Boazzi was actually trying to work on some boxing rather than. We've seen plenty of him knocking guys out.
Yeah.
So, in a real fight, it's not a bad idea against somebody durable that you think your level's above to try and do some work on some actual boxing. So, got some more tools in your toolbox for later on down the track.
Yeah, makes a world of sense. It makes a world of sense that he was working on his boxing. It was a very sensible tactic, very sensible ploy. However, DJ Georgie Porgy in the building. He popped Ford's testicle, says Cass.
The old nutcracker.
The old nutcracker sweet. Okay, so yeah, well, I was getting onto that. So the finishing strokes seem to include a nutcracker and a punch behind the head, a neck punch from Boazzi. Did you catch those?
No, like I was saying, I turned around and
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So I didn't actually see the knockout until the replay.
Yeah, he caught him with a left hook to the body, which seemed sufficient to drop him. He was going down, but then he followed up very, very quickly. It was a combo with it's a right hook to the body, then followed up just above the belt, then followed up with a left hook, also to the body, and but that one was obscured. The camera angle wasn't too good, but we did see the shorts shift quite dramatically. So a lot of people surmised that was a low blow, but I can't say I concur because we didn't actually see where it landed. And that was swiftly followed up by a shot behind the head as he was going down. So theoretically, Ford got hit with Ryan Ford got hit with 2 illegal blows to finish the sequence. Although it did start with a legal blow, it finished with one absolutely certain illegal blow, and the second blow in the sequence. We have never actually seen the camera angle, and it didn't appear to show it in the replays either. I mean, from a personal perspective, I was pretty sure that Ryan Ford was finished at that point anyway, but there was a little bit of controversy. There has been a little bit of controversy with the second and the third blow. And Ryan Ford did speak on it, did say, in the out of the ring interview that he was caught by a nut shot and a shot behind the head. And Joshua Boatsi's response was, well, he was catching me with shots behind the head all night, which he actually was. So a little bit of controversy with there, but I think I'm pretty satisfied that Ryan Ford at that point had been broken down sufficiently that regardless, that was the end for
Yeah.
Ryan Ford.
Once again, where was the ref with all these illegal blows?
Yeah, well, the replay thing seems to be a better and better idea. The WBC replay policy seems to be a better idea all the time. I am in favor of the replay thing. In this case, what would have happened? He would have probably been deducted a point. That would have been Boatsi, and Ryan Ford would have had a couple of seconds of a breather, and then he would have got finished either later on in the 7th or the 8th. I'm pretty confident of that. So it wasn't so crucial in this instance as it was in the Charlie Edwards instance. But still, it would be replay might be the way to go going forward.
Agreed.
So that concludes the analysis of the Julio Cesar Martinez v. Charlie Edwards fight. Let me have a quick look in the chat. Okay. So back on track. We go to the penultimate fight of the night. Hughie Fury versus Alexander Povetkin. Would you want to lead off on that, Jono?
Yep. Hughie Fury.
Mm.
Interesting. Well, it was pretty much how would you put it? A typical Hughie Fury performance at elite level. Lots of running, lots of hugging. Didn't deal too well with the pressure coming from Povetkin. Didn't throw his hands enough. He's got fantastic legs, but he's got no hands to go with them. So it's getting more and more conclusive for Hughie Fury that he's likely to be a 24-year-old gatekeeper at this stage. I just don't think he's got the stuff, got the attitude, or got the hands to be able to kick it with the top 10 of the heavyweight division.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is becoming clear. This is the third fight where he has basically made the same mistakes. Comes out of it doing the same things wrong. And it's getting to the stage now where I have to say, well, will he ever correct the mistakes that he's making? Is he ever going to correct those mistakes?
I guess one of the big questions, like you pointed out, is he got to stop fighting guys with the surname that starts with P?
Have you seen that video?
I have. It's funny. Good stuff.
It's hilarious. I don't know how I came up with it, but yeah, I was just at the computer. I think it was last night, or was it early this morning before work? I think it was early this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, sometime today. And I just thought, Pulev, Parker, no, Pulev, no, Parker, Pulev, Povetkin. And I thought, I just burst out laughing. I thought, I got to run with this. And then I thought, hold on. Let's do a quick fact check here. Let's do a quick fact check. So I looked through his record to see if he'd ever beaten anybody with a surname beginning with P. Anybody who hasn't seen that video, who's listening to this either now or in the future, check it out. If you're listening to this now, then check it out later, after. If you're listening to it in the future, then check it out immediately. But yeah, so I started to think, I had this theory that Hughie Fury can't beat anybody with a surname beginning with P. Pulev or Parker, Pulev, Povetkin. So I thought, let me do a quick fact check before I run with this. So I went back into his the resume, checked his resume, and of course Samuel Peter popped up, and I thought, damn it, that's blown my theory. Went back further still, and there's another guy, Ivanko something, who Ivanko Perkovic, who he beat. So there's two people that he beat with a surname beginning with P. But I thought, no, this is too good. This is too funny. I got to go with it anyway. And I can say, well, look, Perkovic was earlier on, and Peter, well, is ranked number 50. Plus, he's probably 50, actually 50. So I thought, yeah, you can dismiss those two. So started the video, and then I hadn't noticed when I started the video that each of the guys with the surname beginning with P actually had their surname written at the front of their trunks. So I thought, hold on a second, maybe we can still do this. So I went back to Samuel Peter and looked at his trunks when he was fighting him, and there was no P on the trunks. He was bare-fronted. So I thought, damn, my theory's still good. So I went back to look for Perkovic, couldn't find anything on Perkovic, but the weight of evidence suggested that my theory was good. He can't beat anybody with the surname beginning with P if it's written on the front of their trunks. And later on, somebody got back to me. I think it was, who was it? I think it was Toby Bartlett. Toby Bartlett went and checked, and he found out that Perkovic did not have the letter P on the front of his trunks. So, so he can only beat someone with a surname beginning with P if they don't have the name written on the front of his trunks. Fact.
So there could be a light at the end of the tunnel for David Price.
Well, Pricey, I went and checked Pricey. I saw him getting knocked out by Povetkin, and apparently he has his name written on the front of his trunks. So David Price has to push. He's affiliated with Eddie Hearn. David Price has to push for that fight and make sure that he's got his name written on the front of his trunks and he's golden.
Yeah.
I was in pure detective mode, said the Pedmeister. 100%. Inspiration came upon me. I was in the cipher. So, getting back on a more serious note. So Hughie Fury. Where am I? There I am. Hughie Fury. Fury v Povetkin. I think I've chopped it up, but let me say what I've said it in various places, but let me say it here. Hughie Fury has no pop on his jab. He has a God-given jab. I think I probably said it I would have said it during the 12 rounds of that fight in the live show. Have I spoken about it since on this channel? I am not entirely sure, but anyway, just in case I haven't, let me give my opinion. Hughie Fury has no pop on his jab. He's got a God-given... Yeah, I did chop it up. I've done a specific video, but anyway, we're here now. Hughie Fury has no pop. There is no mustard on his jab. He has God-given God-given blessing in the term of his arm length. He's long. And so just with his body dimensions, it makes absolute common sense. It's a no-brainer that he should have been mastering the jab all these years he's been in boxing. He should be a master jabber. He should be an absolute master jabber. His jab should be coated in a thick coating of mustard. He should be a jabber par excellence. But here's the thing. He is not. And that's the crazy thing to think about. It's a crazy thing to think about. Think about whose dad is. This Peter Fury, who was Tyson Fury's trainer for an extended period of time. Look at Tyson Fury. He understands the value and the importance of the jab, and he uses it well. And then you have Hughie Fury, the cousin, who just doesn't seem to get it. There seems to be some kind of mental block. There's some impediment stopping him from doing the basic fundamentals, but yet his trainer is his father, Peter Fury. It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up, Jono.
No, not at all. It's real disappointing because his jab, he can flick it out there quite fast, and if every second or third jab he stepped into it and tried to put it through the back of his opponent's head, it would be effective, but he doesn't. He just flicks it out there, touches the face sometimes. It's not an effective scoring punch, and the judges are picking up on that.
Yeah.
If he's touching someone's face and then pulling away to try and get out of danger before it's done any damage, then what's the point of throwing it? It's not even being used as a rangefinder a lot of the time. So yeah, real disappointing. And I thought that would have been an improvement that Peter would have worked on after the Parker fight, even before the Pulev fight. So
Yeah.
nothing's changed, man.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. It's time after time after time after time after time. Nothing's changing. It beggars belief. It's bizarre. Doesn't it just doesn't add up. It's not adding up. There's nothing on the jab. There's nothing on the right. Uses the right cross. There's nothing on the right.
Someone's got to teach a boy how to punch.
The
He should
basic
know by now.
the basic fundamentals. The guy has got a father who trained a champion, and yet he lacks the basic fundamentals. It's beyond comprehension. It's just totally beyond comprehension. The thing he's good at is defense, but that's only one aspect of the game. The other aspect is to punch the guy.
Hit and don't get hit, not just don't get hit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great at not getting hit. Well, he's okay at not getting hit. I mean, he seems to get cut with that left eye every fight now, but he's better than average at not getting hit. But when it comes to the actual hitting part of it, then he's all at sea. He's absolutely all at sea. And so this leads me to a question. That's been popped into my head more than once, but more recently today or yesterday. And that question is, if Hughie Fury's last name was something like Hughie Clark, would he be getting in the position? Would he be in the position he's now?
Possibly not.
I don't think he would. I think Hughie Fury is
Coattailing.
Yeah, he's living off his name. Hughie Fury is living off his surname. Because I mean, I've been asked, well, where does he go from here? I said, well, he fights what's his name? The tall guy that we just talked about, the English guy.
David Price.
Price. He fights Price next. And then I was asked, well, what if he loses to Price? I said, well, then he fights David Allen. And I said, well, what if he loses to David Allen? I said, he's still okay. He's still okay somehow.
There's always Tom Schwartz or Otto Wallen.
Tom Schwartz after that, Otto Wallen after that on the come up. If he will beat Tom Schwartz, yeah. But after come up, then he can have Otto Wallen.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, no, Raphie, I've got to have a look in the chat. What's going on? What is going on? Raphie can smell things out like a bloodhound. Is Peter being realistic with Hughie? Says Ped. Is he being realistic? Well, I mean, putting him in against Povetkin, I don't think that was realistic. What do you think, Jono?
I always thought it was an interesting style matchup, and I was wondering if Hughie was going to show some improvements, and then I would have thought that it would have been not such a bad fight if there was improvements. But without that improvement, being stagnant with the style, I'd picked all day and all night that Povetkin was going to beat him, most likely on points. So, it's looking more and more like Price is the right fight for him next.
Yeah. I'm saying Price next. I'm saying Price next. It's a no-brainer to me. Okay, let's talk about the management. Let's talk about the management of Hughie Fury. Let's talk about how he's been handled. Yeah, link's in the chat. Link is in the chat. Let's talk about how Hughie Fury's been handled. His dad comes into this because clearly his dad must have been. Has he got a manager other than his dad? I think his dad's his manager. And oh no, he's promoted. Yeah.
MTK.
Sorry.
MTK Global.
Okay. So they are. Who are they? The managers?
Yeah, the Tyson Fury's manager and Billy Joe's manager as well.
Okay, right. So MTK Global are the manager. They're the managers. It was what's his name? Hennessy was the promoter. Now it's Eddie Hearn. Okay, right. So I would imagine his dad, Peter Fury, seems to be a very opinionated man, and so he would have had a hand in the management also, the guiding of Hughie Fury's career.
Yeah.
But yet, I mean, if you look at an example of someone who's been handled correctly, then I would point you to none other than, his name's going out of my head now, Daniel Dubois. Now, there's a guy who's been handled correctly.
Yeah, with no amateur pedigree too.
Say that again?
With no amateur pedigree to boot, he's been handled pretty well.
There you go. No amateur. Fought as an amateur, but no amateur pedigree. Okay, he was at Team GB as an amateur, but not a decorated amateur. Okay, so, and yet now he comes in. They've taken him up. They've given him manageable fights all the way through. Given him tester fights with the Richard Latte from Ghana. Gave him that tester fight. See how he came through. That's when he made a believer out of me. Up until then, I thought, no, too big, too slow, no, too stiff, no. And then with the Richard Latte fight, he shook off a lot of that. I thought, hold on a second, we might be onto something here. And then after Richard Latte, he fought. Was it Gorman straight after Latte?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, so he fights Gorman, who was supposed to be the better boxer, and he outboxed him and knocked him out.
Yep.
So by that time, I became a believer or a semi-believer with Richard Latte as well. I became a believer. I thought, no, they're handling him well. They're handling him well. These trainers, they're onto it. He's listening to them. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing because he's looking less robotic all the time. He's looking faster. He's looking sharper. And each time I saw him, I think it was a fight before the Richard Latte fight where he looked faster than I saw him look before. I thought, okay, that's progression.
Man Kajanu.
Right. Yes, exactly. And so fight by fight, you were seeing progression. Unlike the case with Hughie Fury. You're not seeing progression there. And they're taking him up to British level. So he's won the British title. And he says he wants to win it a couple more times. So he keeps the belt, something of that nature. And then there'll be some kind of international thing. Now he's fighting Tete. There's an international fight. And then after he's dealt with the British aspect, after he's solidified his position with the British belt, then they'll be looking at some European guys. They'll be looking for the European belt, and that is the proper progression. All goes well there, then they'll be looking at some kind of intercontinental belts, and I like that type of progression. But compare and contrast that with Hughie Fury. Compare and contrast, and we see that his career is all over the place. He's fighting this guy over there. He's fighting that guy. Then he goes to a high level guy, loses, drops back down, and then another high level guy loses, drops back down. It's all over the place. It's unstructured.
Yeah, definitely. Once he got that British title, it kind of seemed to go to their head, and jumping into a world title fight.
Mad.
Without was a bit risky and it didn't come off.
Have you got a dodgy connection there with your mic, Jono? You lost your sound for a second. Got some crackling, some static sounding. Are you okay over there?
I might have touched my connection. Is it good now?
Yeah. I think you're good now. Yeah, you're good now. You're back. Repeat what you were saying. Yeah. You won the British title and then.
Yeah, and then it kind of maybe went to the team's head a bit and forced that world title shot against Joseph Parker. And having no intermediate experience was a bit of a mistake in my eyes. I think they should have gone for some kind of European title or,
100%.
like you say, an intercontinental title or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But they didn't do
but
that.
no, they didn't do that. And even after the loss, they went down to 10 levels below and then back up to elite level again. You know, still no intermediates. They just don't seem to learn.
They-
I like this brick wall. I'll keep banging my head on it.
They don't seem to learn. I mean, his management has been poor. I think Peter Fury's had a hand in that because he's an opinionated guy. He's not just gonna let people handle his boy just any which way. He had a part in it. He is. I'll use the word. He's culpable. He's culpable. He's culpable in the crime. I believe it's a crime, and he's culpable.
Well, to a degree, I suppose, as well, being his father, he's going to have supreme confidence in his son. Whether it's valid or not, it could be an issue. You know, he's a father. He's supposed to believe in his son, but we spoke about it yesterday. Maybe some input from another coach would be more effective. And also, like we said yesterday, you can always lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And because of that paternal bond, maybe there's something wrong with the coaching relationship there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, I was getting onto that. That's the next thing I was gonna get onto. Well, I am getting onto the.
Sorry, mate.
No, that's cool. That's cool. There's a preemptive strike. Yeah, that's the next thing. The coaching, the father-son coaching relationship. Now, I'm going to go further than that, deeper than that. Looks like a tangent, but not. You see, when Hughie Fury left Peter, as many people will know, Peter was working with Peter was working with Tyson for some time, for an extended period. Tyson didn't start with him, but he went over to Peter. And I saw some training footage one time. I can't remember for the life of me where I saw the footage, but it was in their gym, in Peter's gym. And they had this new strength and conditioning trainer around, and they were showing this new strength and conditioning guy working with Hughie. And Peter was very much the overlord. He said, we've had these types of guys in before, and you know they weren't the guys rugged, and they got nothing left for the boxing. And he was kind of, he's like he was the overseer, clearly the overseer. And then I saw another clip where I got the impression that he only had the strength and conditioning guy, and so he could see what he did, then get him out of there, and then start doing what he saw the strength and conditioning guy do. I got that clear and distinct impression. Anyway, saw another clip without the strength and conditioning guy, and I saw Peter training his son Hughie, weight training, and it was some basic stuff, and all Peter was saying was more. Go on, keep on going more. There didn't seem to be any science behind it. He's doing some kind of bench press, and there didn't seem to be any science behind it whatsoever. And also, worse than that, it seemed boring. It seemed really, really boring. Okay, that's a segue. Now's what looks like the tangent. Tyson Fury said about Ben Davis, it keeps the training fun. It keeps the training fun. And if you remember, just before he left Peter, I mean, he had different issues and different problems, but he said he was just bored with it all. Now, here is my speculation. Peter Fury's training methods are boring. Hughie Fury is now uninspired. He's been under that regime for all of his career, and he is bored. It's the same old thing. That's what Tyson said. The same old thing, the same old repetitions. You see, a good trainer or a good training team will have in mind the notion, the idea to make training interesting, use creative methods to achieve their goals and objectives. Whereas with an old school guy like Peter, I think all he's doing is saying, get in the reps in, get the reps in, go on, grueling. In his mind, he probably thinks the more boring, the more grueling, the more flavorless the training is, the better. That's my hypothesis. What say you, Jono?
Totally agree. And it's the same with anything in life. Anything that's repetitive, you got to throw something in there to spice it up a bit to keep the interest up. Otherwise, you lose enthusiasm, and the training doesn't end up being as effective in the long run. So, yeah, spot on. The old boy Peter Fury with his draconian. This is how you train. This is how you do it every single time. It's got to be a very boring.
It's got to be a drag. It's got to be a drag. I mean, Tyson Fury pretty much spelled it out. I mean, he didn't put Peter's name in it, but he said it. It's just boring. And from the clips I've seen, and it hasn't been many, but from the little snapshot I got into it, I thought, bloody hell, that looks boring. That looks so boring. And I don't think he has any inclination. Rocket Reggie in the building. Donovan Williams in the building. Talk Sense in the building. Welcome, guys. Smash that like button. Follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description box. Yeah, so with you, with Peter Fury, always looks so dry, always looks so serious. I can't imagine him. Well, I've seen him in the gym, and there was no inclination on his part to make things fun, interesting. I mean, I work in the fitness industry myself, and I know that part of the key is to have people enjoy what they're doing. And Peter doesn't seem to have an ounce of an inkling of that being a serious factor. He probably thinks it's soft. You what? You want to make it interesting, fun? Are you a pansy? Are you a man or a pansy? Fun, interesting. Not in my gym, mate. Not in my gym. So that's the feeling I get, and he's totally wrong. That's the impression I get, and he's totally wrong. You can do serious stuff, but make it fun. I think that's where Ben Davison has struck gold with Tyson Fury. And so ultimately, I say all of that to say this. Peter, I mean, Hughie Fury, it's not working. The Peter Fury, Hughie Fury connection as trainer and boxer is not working. It doesn't always work. Father and son, I know there was a suggestion the other day that if you don't listen to your dad, you won't listen to anybody. Well, I don't agree with that. Sometimes you won't listen to somebody close to you, but you will listen to someone further out.
Agreed. All depends on the relationship.
Exactly. But what we do know is the thing is not working. It is not working. And so when something's not working, what do? You change it up.
Yep. Trial and error. You got to try something different. If it doesn't work, keep trying something else new until something does work.
Until something does work. So my philosophy, my belief on this whole matter is Hughie Fury has to go somewhere else. He has to start looking somewhere else. Now, of course, that makes it all the more difficult because it's father and son. It's father and son. I don't see his dad saying, "Go on, son, go and look for a different trainer," because Hughie Fury is probably the most popular, the most recognized fighter that Peter Fury's got on his roster right now. Yeah. So there's right about now there seems to be a conflict of interest. There's a conflict of interest between Peter Fury. I mean, if it was another fighter and it's not working, he'd probably tell him to go and look for somebody else. But Hughie Fury is his son, and perhaps he has a feeling that if he sends him off somewhere else, then it's a sign of failure on his part. And worse still, if Hughie Fury does well under somebody else, then it's even worse. It's another sign of failure on his part. So he fails twice. One, he had to get his son out of the gym, and two, his son's doing better out of the gym than he was in the gym.
Yeah.
So,
You
so
got
they
an interesting comment there in the chat from Aobs.
okay.
Peter Fury is the UK version of Virgil Hunter. Got lucky with a special fighter.
Yeah, I don't dispute that one tiny bit. I have had that thought before. I've had that thought before. What do you think about that, Jono?
Yeah, well, a lot of times when a fighter loses, they blame it all on the coach or something along those lines. But to a degree, a coach isn't the fighter. What you start with does make a difference. So it's not all the coach that makes the fighter, and it's not all the fighter that makes the coach.
True.
So, yeah. Is Peter Fury the best coach in the world because he had Tyson Fury, who's the lineal champion? I don't think so. I think a lot of it is to do with Tyson Fury's talent, not just the coaching. So, interesting.
It's very interesting thought. Very interesting thought. I can't say I've never had that thought before. I have. I have. Um, it's up to Peter Fury to bring somebody else on, and it ain't gonna be. It doesn't look like it's gonna be Hughie Fury.
Well, even if it's just somebody to co-coach to get some more input and see how it goes, they've got to do something.
They have to 100%. They have to do something different because what they're doing, quite simply, is not working. It just ain't working. Okay, so that was our to talk about the fight. I think we all know by now. Hughie Fury. In my book, he won. I gave him the first round, the second round, and the seventh round. Round 1, round 2, and round 7. I think I had a draw in there somewhere, but I can't find it on my scorecard. So maybe I imagined it. I don't know. But that was Hughie Fury lost by what, 7, 8, 9, by 7.5 rounds, 8.5 rounds, on my scorecard.
Yeah, I was a little more generous. I gave Huey 1, 2, 3, and 5 and 7.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh wow! So you gave him 5 rounds.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I can see that because some rounds were close.
yeah, but definitely Povetkin won all but one of the last 6 rounds easily for me.
Yeah,
And at 40, that's a feat in itself against the guy who moves like that. So,
it
got to
is.
give credit to Povetkin. He is on the slide, but he's still got enough to beat a lot of the guys inside the top 10. So, good for
100,
him.
100%. Absolutely. So, oh, actually, I just remembered something. So before we get into the final, the headline fight. Not Hughie Fury. Who am I talking about? Alexander Povetkin has come out today and said that he wants to fight. He's beat the cousin. Now he wants the other cousin. He wants the lying Tyson Fury. He said that Tyson Fury lied, saying that they approached Povetkin, but in reality, I was never approached. I was never approached this year to fight Tyson Fury. And so I've just beat the cousin. Now I want him in the UK in December. What say you, Jono?
Bad choice. Bad choice for Povetkin. He will get made to look even sillier than he looked against Vladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury. He won't be able to touch him, not with that huge reach advantage. And Tyson has an effective jab as well as the feet,
Yeah.
like Hughie. So, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea for him. He should be trying to get a fight against Alexander Usyk.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that would make way more sense because Tyson Fury, he actually, unlike you, he actually has an effective jab.
Yeah.
He has an effective jab, and he knows how to box.
those big lunging left hooks or right hands that Povetkin uses, he's going to need a mini tramp to get to Tyson Fury's chin. He's not going to get there otherwise.
Yeah. What about the lucky punch element?
Oh, how lucky can you be from 6 feet away?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't see him getting close enough to Tyson to do any damage.
But Tyson, the only time Tyson's been dropped other than Wilder, the counter argument to that is the only time Tyson's been dropped other than Wilder was by shorter guys. Well, significantly shorter guys.
Yeah. But also when he was being dropped, he was getting all cocky and trying to show off a bit too, wasn't he? Once he gets knocked down by those guys, he gets back to what he's supposed to be doing. He's had his wake up call and he makes an example of them.
Yeah, but so he can get dropped by the much shorter guy.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I think with somebody of the caliber of Povetkin, he won't be doing any of this cocky shit trying to show off. He knows what threats he possesses. So
yeah, so that's the counter to the counter. That's the counter argument to the counter argument. Absolutely, absolutely. So we're saying that maybe Povetkin is barking up the wrong tree with that one.
I think so.
Well, you know something? I'd still watch.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. So I'm saying
in the ring. Who wouldn't watch?
Yeah. I'm saying bring it on. Bring it on. Let it happen. Let it happen in the UK in December. Let it happen. Bring it on. However, we get into that now. However, there has been another article which I covered, which is Bob. Well, first, before I get into that, let me see what's going on in the chat. Cunningham is taller than Povetkin. Okay. How much taller? As a matter of fact,
it's only like an inch, I think, or something.
Yeah, like an inch. Is it an inch taller? Is it a whole inch? Let's go to BoxRec. We have the technology. Where is it? It's already up. It's boom. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm sharing. I think I'm sharing. Am I sharing? I'm not even sharing. BoxRec. And let's go ratings. Heavyweight. Go. I reckon Jono's going to beat me on this. I reckon Jono's going to beat me in this race to find Cunningham.
I think the reach would be the difference. He's 6'3", is Steve Cunningham, but he has an 82-inch reach. Whereas Povetkin, I think he's only got a 75-inch reach.
75-inch reach. How tall? So Cunningham is 6'3", and Povetkin is, I'm looking at him now, 6'2". But to answer OBS, there's only an inch in it, mate, in the height. The reach is where it's at. So there's nothing in the height. It's the reach is where it's at. Cunningham has a significantly better reach. So
his reach is just about as long as Tyson Fury's.
Yeah. That makes a difference. That does make a difference. What else are they saying in the chat? Ben Davison looks 10 times better when he doesn't gel his hair. Okay. Okay.
Looks a bit like a Kendall with that gel. Looks like glue in his hair.
Indeed. Red Glove Milton says Tyson would beat Povetkin. It would still be better than Fury fighting these guys he's been fighting. Toby Bartlett. I think you're right about Heinrich being Tyson Fury. Okay, welcome into the chat, Mr. Tyson Fury. Toby Bartlett said, I've seen a video of Tyson Fury training earlier, and he looked like he was really enjoying himself. Yeah, that's a big factor. That is a big factor. Enjoy training. Enjoy your training. Okay, so Peter Fury in the UK is the UK version of Virgil Hunter. Yeah, we covered that one. That's a really good point. Red Glove Militant says Peter needs to spice things up. Yeah. Can you teach old dogs new tricks? I actually watched an episode of Mythbusters back in the day when I used to watch Mythbusters, and they actually showed that you can teach an old dog new tricks. Does Peter Fury fall into that category, though? I think not. Although you never know. You never, ever, ever know. Loma's dad makes his training enjoyable for him. You see, a smart trainer will do that. An intelligent, there's different types of trainer, different calibers of trainer. I work with different trainers every day. And the smart ones make it fun. So sometimes people are getting exercise without even realizing. And then you get the other type who they want pain. They want to see you in pain. They want to make it dreary. You know, they want to make it a dreary, arduous experience. They want you to feel every rep. Came across one guy the other day who made his workout harder in a particular session because there was a person who was doing his workout too easily, and he says, "Nobody gets through my workout." And I thought, that is the wrong attitude, my friend. The wrong attitude. Absolutely the wrong attitude. Yes, big up EJ Boxing in the building. Let me just drop a link into the chat in case you want to jump in. Boom. The link is in the chat in case you want to chop it up for us for a little bit. Okay. So I was getting on to the point of Bob Arum. Bob Arum's words, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, which I covered in a video. If anybody hasn't seen it, go check out my videos. And Bob Arum was asked the question. He was asked the question, well, Tyson Fury has said recently in the press that he's allowed to have a fight in the UK, and he wants that fight to be in December. So he pretty much said that he would be fighting in the UK. He pretty much said that he would be fighting in the UK in December. Where are we? EJ Boxing in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. How you doing? Raphie? Raphie, Combat Radio. What's going on? What's going on, Big Boy Boxing? I just yeah, what's that, man? I just had an interview with Tunde and Jared that's there. So when you guys are ready, come over and check it. But yeah, man, let's get to the topic. The topic at hand. Lomo, right?
Yeah. So we're talking about Tyson Fury's words. First of all, greeting, welcome, everybody. Welcome. EJ Boxing in the building. Anybody who is in the chat who watching now who has not smashed the like button, please kindly do so. We're bringing this entertainment to you free of charge. So smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Smashing the donate button is entirely optional. So we're talking about Tyson Fury's words that he would be fighting in the UK in December. No, there was no opponent selected, but he said that he would be fighting in the UK in December after Otto Wallin and before Tyson Fury.
Okay, so hold on. So he's fighting. Okay, so he's getting another tune up. So what's going on with the Wilder thing?
Well, he feels that clearly he was indicating that he acknowledged that Swartz and Wallen were relatively easy touches, and so he could fit another one in the UK in December, and then fight Wilder. That's scheduled or talked about for the end of February.
See. Well, hey, listen, he better not look too fast at, because one of them guys might upset him, and that happens in boxing. But if he feels like he's got a couple of layups and they're gonna help him better, them guys, they're not gonna get you better for Wilder. Just let you know that for now. They're definitely gonna help with your conditioning. They're gonna help with your sharpness. But at the end of the day, nothing's gonna help with when Wilder lands one on your chin, right? And Wilder's in a real fierce mood as well. See, Wilder's fighting when he fight. I think he fights like Joshua. I think it's 2 times a year. And he listen, that other last fight, he good, he's fresh. So I think Fury, it looks like insecurity to me. After seeing what Wilder did in his last in the Brazil, he's durable. The Brazil's better than 2 of Fury's or 3 of Fury's opponents. Better than the last 3. So if you feel like you need an extra one, then, you know what I mean. And then also you could say that he could be injured if you go against these guys. Yeah, it becomes a hard fight. So we have to see. But like I said, nothing's gonna help you. I think at this point, if you got a big fight, why is it being delayed into next year? Like, or the next year, it's going to be February, then you're delaying it longer. Bottom line is, what you're trying to do, you're trying to long Deontay Wilder out to trying to make him get ring rust while you're sharp, and when you're coming into the fight, when you're sharp. That's what it looks like to me. But them games ain't going to work with the champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, end of the day, Deontay Wilder is ready to go. Anytime you want it, he's ready to go. So we have to see. But the mind games, what Fury knows what he's in for. He's one of the most hardest fights in his career. And I guess, listen, by rights, he wants to get himself the most sharpest. So I can't really take it away from him, you know. But for the fans watching, you know what I'm saying? It's dull. It's very dull, you know.
Well, here's the thing. That was what Fury said. But now I'm going to tell you what Bob Arum said a couple of days ago when asked if Fury will be fighting in the UK in December, as Fury had said. Bob Arum laughed, shook his head, and said, "Absolutely not."
Oh shit! So he's the guy that decides. So Fury, so he's jiving. So what's going on? Is the one fight gonna happen this year then?
No, he's gonna fight Ortiz. Fury's gonna fight. No, Wilder's gonna fight Ortiz, isn't he?
So what's going on in December then? He's gonna be back in America. Is he gonna be fighting in America?
He's probably not gonna be doing anything in America. But he definitely. Well, if he does anything, it won't be in the UK. He signed to ESPN. I think the reason Bob Arum laughed is because he's signed to ESPN, and they've signed him for a reason. It's for the American market. That's what's going on. But you know, Tyson was just BSing. It seems Tyson was just using pure BS because it didn't seem logical to me. You take the Otto Wallin fight in September. That leaves what? October, November, December. When's he fighting Otto Wallin? Is it September or October?
September 14th.
September 14th. Okay, mid-September, October, November, December. 3 months later, it's doable, I suppose. And then the 14th of December, January, February. That's not even 3 months. It's like January, 14th of January, 14th of February. So that would leave him, what, 4, 8, 10 weeks until the Wilder fight, which is talked about for the end of February.
Yeah, 22nd.
22nd of February. That's what they're talking about. Nothing's been concrete. Jono, is anything concrete on that date?
Not that I know of, man.
No, nothing's concrete for February.
Yeah, I think a lot's going to depend on whether Andy Ruiz retains those belts or not.
Yeah, that's why they seem to be stalling things out a little bit now. They're stalling the thing out as if they're looking over at Andy Ruiz, the Andy Ruiz Joshua thing, because we're not hearing anything about the Ortiz fight. We're not hearing nothing about the Ortiz fight. There was speculation that maybe Wilder had picked up a niggle, and that's why they're kind of delaying the date. But there's just no confirmation of the date with Ortiz. That's not confirmed, is it?
No, they're talking about November 7th or something like that.
November 7th.
Was on BoxRec, but I don't think it is anymore.
Let's have a look at BoxRec, see what they're saying. See what BoxRec is saying. So, EJ Boxing.
Yes, sir.
Deontay Wilder. So, yeah, your feelings about Otto Wallin.
Hey, he's undefeated, man. Hey, listen, you never know, man. Like, listen, I slept on Ruiz. I'll be honest with you, until I saw Andy Joshua hand the belts over, and that percolated my interest because, you know what I mean. But other than that, yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It's like, You know, but that's the ones you know, even when Mike Tyson fight Buster Douglas, like, okay, yeah, another routine beatdown until he fights like kind of another guy. But end of the day, these things happen. You know, you're supposed to fight a guy. You know, he's tall. You know, he's rangy. He's undefeated. The guys obviously might come to win, but Tyson Fury's thinking, well, the thing is, yeah, they've got guys with names undefeated. Looks good on the record, so no one can say. But the guy's never fought no one. He's never fought no one near where Fury's level is at. And Fury's proven that. To me, it looks like he's actually getting better. He's very stubborn in his mindset, determined. You know, he got off the floor from Wilder, not many people, and to continue doing pretty well. So this guy's, you know, Fury's got a lot of things going for him. This guy is gonna have to come into that fight and really put himself on the mat if he can beat Fury. But hey, most observers think that this is not a routine fight for Fury, just on his way to get to Wilder. So, you know, it's just it doesn't really garner that much attention. This guy doesn't talk. You know what I mean? He ain't said nothing on social media. He's just there. He just turned up. He's gonna get our payday and then disappear. Like the last guy. Who was the last guy Fury fought? What's he doing since? Does anyone know what he's doing?
You got a knockout.
He's had a win, yeah.
Yeah, you got a knockout.
He got against who? Against another unknown guy.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah, go back to obscurity. You know what I mean? These guys are not. There's fighters out there. There's loads of fighters in boxing. They fight, but some of them just fight for the sake. They get this their biggest of a payday. But some of them, I don't know if their ambitions to be world champions. You know what I mean? They might in their heart want to be it, but does this guy want it? Does he believe in it? You know what I'm saying? We find out. He's undefeated because they've done a good job of matching him against guys he should beat. But this guy Fury, listen, if he wants to win the fight, man, let him go ahead. Let's find out. But I haven't really done my research on who he's fought, whatever, because I just looked at the record, so I didn't see no names. So let's find out. It doesn't really percolate my interest. That's what I'm saying.
This Otto Walling guy doesn't percolate your interest
at all. 100%, not at all.
Jono, Big Boys Boxing.
Yo.
Yeah, Otto Walling.
Otto Walling, well, he hasn't got a stellar resume. He does have a win over Adrian Granat, another Swede, but he was kind of avoiding that fight for a long time until he saw Adrian Granat get knocked out by Alexander Lomachenko. And as soon as he seen him get knocked out, oh yeah, I'll fight Adrian Granat now. And he beat him on points. But besides that, there's pretty much nothing else on his resume to suggest that he's got anything to compare to the skills of Fury. He's taking a shot in the dark. He's a big dude. He doesn't have a huge punch. He can box, but realistically, what heavyweight can outbox Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
I see this fight going a little bit longer than Schwartz, but I think Fury's probably going to stop him within 6.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Otto Walling either. I've never heard of him, to be quite frank with you. And I'm not expecting much more. It's been said that he's better than Schwartz, which I can believe, because Schwartz isn't even apparently the best heavyweight in Germany. So I can believe that Otto Walling is better. Not expecting nothing out of him. What Big Boys Boxing? What do you make of this strategy of? Well, I'm going to get straight to the point, straight to the question that's really on my mind, and this is something I've been pondering. Do you think? Well, I'll tell you what I think. Big Boys Boxing. I'll tell you what I think. I think that I have a suspicion that after getting knocked down twice in one fight, which has never happened to Tyson Fury before, I have a suspicion that he might be saying, do I really need me as the lineal champ? Me as the lineal champ, do I really need Deontay Wilder in my life? Big Boys Boxing.
Depends how much he wants to get paid, because that's the biggest fight out there for him at the moment, and it's got heaps of controversy surrounding it, which makes it easy for the fight to sell. So, you know, I've said it before, with this ESPN 5-fight deal, I can see him fighting unbeaten guys who haven't been tested until the final fight of the deal. He'll take on Deontay Wilder. If he wins, then he'll go for undisputed, then retire. If he loses, he'll retire right then. he's made enough money to survive for the rest of his life, and I can't blame the guy. If someone's going to hand me $120 million for getting my face punched in 4 times and then possibly getting killed the 5th time, then fine. It's still worth it for me.
EJ Boxing, same question. Do you think that there is a part of Tyson Fury that's saying, I'm the lineal champion. Why do I need the green strap? I'm the lineal.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
He needs Wilder. He needs Wilder. Wilder's already cementing himself in history of his title defenses, and Fury is his whole claim to fame at this point is Vladimir Klitschko and having a draw with Wilder. So Wilder is him and the two of them have cemented history together. That fight was a classic. It was a classic, right? So at this point, what you're looking for is he needs Wilder, but he's trying to get Wilder where Wilder's not at his best. But bro, there's no lapse. There's no lapse in what Wilder's doing. Wilder's still on his A game. You know what I mean? And Wilder, he definitely needs Wilder in the fight. That's the fight that, end of the day, that fight was bigger than AJ Ruiz when it was going on, right? It just was, but right now it's changed, yeah. But Fury didn't want to take the rematch. He just wanted to get a couple of paydays, which he's doing. The thing is, if that fight happened immediately after, it would have been the best thing for Fury's career, right? But for right now, like I said, he's doing these tune-ups to get himself in shape. But the longer he leaves it, people watching this, people are looking like, yeah, we want to see the fight. But the Ruiz and AJ fight is more. That's much more. I know I like Wilder and I like Fury, but listen, we've seen them talk. We've seen whatever, but Fury is showing that he don't want the fight no time soon. AJ Ruiz is set this year. You know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, if you're looking to make the most amount of payday in a return, like the following year, because remember that fight was the Fury fight? Was it this year? It was this year, right?
It was last year. It was 2018.
Oh man, see, just something to see what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're longing it out. Is it a fight that we're looking at like, oh yeah, we have to see Fury and Wilder? It's not, man. It's not. It's the Ruiz and AJ fight because of what happened, and Ruiz boarding like he's a rapper. So yeah, he needs Wilder, bro. He needs Wilder bad. But no. Actually, let me change it around. Wilder needs him. Wilder needs Fury. Wilder needs the bodies on his name to get to AJ. That's what Wilder's been trying to do. He's trying to get bodies in his name to get himself in a powerful negotiation situation where he can get some money from AJ. That's what Wilder's been trying to do. Fury is looking like, bro, this is a dangerous contender. Maybe if I take these fights, Wilder might look bad. You know what I'm saying? Or I need to get myself. He's making all the excuses in the world not to fight him. But the bottom line is this year, the longer you leave it, maybe people are looking like, I'm not interested. Because I tell you what, the American people, now we're from the UK, the American people, they're not too happy about this, They're looking at you know what I mean? They don't like people pissing around. They can see what Fury's doing. So how long Bob Arum is gonna keep this charade up? You gonna fight or what? You know what I mean? You put up a shot.
Yeah. Well, my position on it is that firstly, when this $100 million thing was announced, Bob Arum said, I don't know where that figure comes from. Because to me, the numbers just don't add up.
Oh,
I don't see how and where Fury could be making 10 mil per fight fighting Schwartz and Otto Wallin.
Hell no, not against those cans.
No way, no how. I don't believe the numbers. I don't believe the numbers one tiny bit. And I'll go further. Controversial thoughts right here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Fury walked away from the Wilder fight. Let's say it like it is. He walked away from the Wilder fight. It was going to be next. It was going to be an immediate rematch. But Fury went and signed a deal with ESPN. I'm not saying he was wrong to do it, but let's just call it like it is. That's exactly the sequence of events. Fury opted to take the deal with ESPN, which he knew would stall out the Wilder fight, the Wilder v Fury 2. He knew it would. And so it's only logical that you're going to have to think to yourself, well, why the hell would you do that? Why the hell would you do that instead of taking, if you were fully confident that you were going to beat Wilder, why would you not take the Wilder fight first and then the ESPN deal second? Why not knock out Wilder or beat Wilder and then take the ESPN at more favorable rates which might actually come close to the reputed 100 million, which he's supposed to be getting, which I don't believe he's getting. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you fight Wilder? If you were that confident that you would beat him, why would you not fight Wilder and then take the ESPN deal at favorable rates? Jono. Over to you, Jono.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no problem.
I've just had a visitor turn up, so I'm going to have to drop off, unfortunately.
Matey, no problem at all. It's been great having you.
Thanks for having me on, mate. See you later.
Absolutely. See you later. Take care. Okay. So it's me and you, EJ Boxing. Let me drop the link in the chat again in case somebody wants to jump on. So, boom. There it is. In case somebody wants to jump on. Okay. So, yeah. So, Fury could have took the rematch. He opted not to. I don't know how much he really wants the Wilder rematch.
100%. No, you make a good point. Now, let's talk about the 100 mil, 100. You know what? It would have got close to, the rematch. Oh, because remember the first fight was in Los Angeles. It was in LA.
Yeah.
And you know what? And it wanted a rematch so bad that I think at the time when it did, because remember again, boxing is about the story. I mean, I just talked to Tunde Ajayi and I'm saying he's done a great job of promoting the fight with Anthony Yard, and it's the most talked about fight. No sparring and all that stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
Now, at that time when the Wilder fight went down, it was the most talked about fight. Caused AJ to say, "Yo, we're coming out of the UK, we're coming to New York to get that attention back." Now, the attention, the world was in your hands. It was just there, and you've let it slip out. And it's hard to bring back the attention of the public because we see you talk. The fight did live up to it, but bro, the actions of what you're doing, because Wilder's doing good. Wilder ain't playing around now. Wilder's going in there against name guys and doing a job. You, on the other hand, boy, you're fighting mashed potatoes, but we know why, because you're shape. But what we're saying right now is, it's not 100 million. No, it's not 100 million. It may have got to that point where because it was great. Because the thing is, the marketing thing, the talking, the rematch could have did that for their career. It was wonderful, but Fury opted not to, and detrimental to his health, or detrimentary to him, that the money is not as big. But he don't care. They don't care. They like, well, we got past that. Now we get ourselves in shape. We're waiting till Wilder might burn himself out. We try and kick. Because remember again, boxing's about chess. It ain't checkers. You know what I mean? Wilder's at his strongest. We're trying to play the long game, beat some guys. End of the day, history will say that if Wilder gets burned out, Fury goes in and beat him. That's how the records show. You know what I mean? Wilder's fighting these hard fights while Fury's taking he's taking a waltz up the park. He's taking easy fights. If Wilder was doing what Fury's doing, bro, they would diss him out. Wilder's been getting that. Why isn't Fury getting gone in the same sort of criticism that Wilder did when Wilder was fighting guys that we didn't care about, And it's just double standards all the way. But the bottom line is this year, the money is not as big as it is, It's just not. It isn't, in my opinion.
No, it is not at all. And I don't think the money was going to be that big anyway. The money wasn't long money. They weren't dealing with long money at all. They weren't dealing with long money the first time around. It would have been bigger money the second time around. But Wilder is simply not a pay-per-view draw. So how the money was going to get long, it would have been due to the controversy of the first fight. I'll just put the Twitter link in the chat. My Twitter link is in the chat. Smash the like button. And if you're new to the chat, hit the subscribe button. Okay, sorry to interrupt you there. EJ Boxing. So Twitter link in the chat. Smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. Okay, so where are we? Okay, back in the right place now. Okay, so Fury. To me, Fury don't want it. Fury is in no rush for that rematch, and he's coming up with these stories to appease the fans, to keep the fans happy, fabricating stories, talking about he's going to fight in the UK in December. He's stalling the thing out simply because I don't think he's over enthusiastic. He's got a deal. He's got a deal with ESPN, reputed to be 100 mil. I think it's probably closer to 50 mil if he's lucky. 5-fight deal at 50 mil, that would be brilliant. So if he's anywhere close to that 50 mil, then that's a good deal. Even 50 mil, that's 10 mil per fight. Do I find that likely? I find it highly unlikely. So I think there's probably a ceiling of 50 mil on that contract. Forget about the 100 mil. Forget about the 120 mil. It's entirely unrealistic. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. And as far as Wilder's concerned, I think he wants the fight because Fury never had him in trouble he wasn't in trouble from Fury. He wasn't in trouble of getting knocked out. He was in trouble of potentially being outpointed, for sure. But being knocked out by Fury, no. So I think if you were to ask me which of those two fellows wanted the fight more, I would say it's the guy. Which of the two fellows wants it more? I would say it's the guy who was never at risk of getting knocked out. He's the guy who wants it more. And the guy who wants it least is the guy who was dropped twice in one fight.
100%. 100%. And his face looked scratched up as well.
Yeah.
Wow, it wasn't no joke. Wilder's whole thing was like, yo, Wilder was wild. You know what I mean? Maybe underestimated. The whole thing with Billy Joe Saunders and the chicken.
Chicken gate.
Yeah, chicken gate. And then what about beer gate when some guy just threw beer all over his knife? Drama, bruh.
They wet him up.
Yeah, wet, bruh. Listen, wet him up in Ireland. And then he got doing that, and then when he got in there, he was just frustrated that he wanted to take him out, and he finally did get to him.
Yeah.
But at this point now, Wilder said, "Yo, if he worked the body of Fury, because Fury, the thing is, it was that stage of Wilder wouldn't got the grip, but Wilder knows that he missed opportunity there. But he left the door open for more money in terms of making more money with Fury, but Fury doesn't want it. He don't want it. He's seen Ben Davis. They don't want him. No, take a couple of tune-ups, make a couple of paydays. Don't go back in there because if you lose, it's like a hard. That's the whole thing about undefeated and all these things there. To me, yeah, undefeated is like you got a walk with Fury, but you're fighting pancakes, man. Them guys, yeah, you might feel good and stuff like that, but bro, hey, listen, I don't know any. But I never seen a guy fight rubbish opponents, yeah. And then you think that's gonna help you when you go against elite guys. It's gonna help you. It doesn't. You fight good guys who are former world champions, not undefeated, but good guys that get you ready for your fight with Wilder. You know what I mean? Like you could have fought who's a big banger? You could have fight what's his name again? Not Phil Hogan. You could have fought what's that guy? There's a Polish guy, Kaneki. You could have fought Kaneki. He's there. He's durable. That would have been good. Like these durable guys that. To help you deal with some pressure. You know what I mean? Brazil has lost to Wilder. Why didn't you bring Brazil in? Why you go against Molina?
You could have fought Jennings. You could have fought Jennings.
Yeah, Jennings you could have fought, but you're just staying away from anyone who even got any sort of dangerous TNT power. We know what you're doing. You're not getting away with it. Social media and Raphael Dawkins, we know what you're doing. Combat Radio, we know what you're doing. But listen, I don't know if that's going to help you to get you ready for your fight. You're definitely in shape. Your ring has gone off. Right? There's no excuses no more. Make the damn fight and then see what it is. Because maybe in his mind, he knows what's going to happen. Because he could be outboxing Wilder for the majority, even let's say 7 rounds.
Yeah.
Hitting Wilder. Right? And he definitely hit Wilder hard. Right? But Wilder was still there. But what Wilder's got to do is wind up the Alabama windmills and boom.
Yeah. Get the wind turbine. Get the wind turbine going. Get the wind turbine going.
And it's showing that his chin is not the best. He's been knocked down by Steve Cunningham, right? When he came up, and he's definitely gone down with Wilder, so he knows he's got some fragility. You know, Wilder on the other hand, yeah, even though he's wobbled, he stand up on his feet. You know, he's quite durable as Wilder. You know, so
he's durable. He's underestimated. I underestimated Wilder. The thing about Wilder is he likes a rematch.
Yeah, you gotta give this guy credit. He wants to, you know, he's one of them guys there. He's showing that, and he's showing that, bro. Like, you know, whatever you said about Wilder, people said about his legs. Now, I looked at Wilder for years, and I said, this guy is hard to beat. I mean, he reminds me of Tommy Hitman Hearns in that kind of body ilk, where he doesn't look sturdy, but when them licks come, it's not funny. Now, differently from Tommy Hearns, Wilder can take a punch now, and he won't. You know, well, Hearns is good as well. Hearns take a rematch, so he reminds me of that kind of heavyweight in that thing. You know, he's not as refined as Tommy Hearns, but definitely devastating in that ilk. That when he lands that bloody right hand or left hook, what? Listen, what he did to Brazil, like, it scared me, you know. What he did to Arthur Spilka, I thought the guy died. So what Fury's taking the Fury, you know, Fury in the back of his mind realized that, yo, I came up like the Undertaker. I was nearly so
the resurrection. It was a resurrection.
A resurrection. There you go. That's the right word. There you go. That's right.
You know, so I don't think Fury is any rush to get back in there with Wilder. Why would he be?
Yeah.
Why would he be? Why would you want to be in a rush to get back with the guy who pretty much damn near finished you in the last round? Was it the last round? It was the last round. Why would you? And then he knocked you down earlier on in the fight as well. He knocked you down 2 times in one fight. You're a guy who doesn't generally get knocked down. Knocked you down 2 times in one fight. Now you're getting potentially like 50 mil. Let's be generous, like 50 mil from ESPN. You got reputed in between 4 mil and 7 mil to fight this guy, and now you can get an easy, let's say 7 mil per fight. You only got in between 4 mil and 7 mil to fight Wilder. Now you can get a guaranteed 7 mil per fight to fight soft touches. It's a no-brainer. You're already lineal, yeah? You're already lineal champ, yeah? Allegedly. You're already lineal. So you're waving that thing around. I don't think you're lineal, but whatever. You're retired. You got drug busted. You shouldn't have been in there with Klitschko anyway because you failed a drug test beforehand, and you should have been suspended by the time where you were fighting Klitschko. Klitschko didn't know. There's a whole lot of stuff. So, yeah. So you're not lineal in my eyes, but there's a lot of the public who are buying the notion that you are lineal. So you're waving that lineal banner. You're the lineal champ. I'm the lineal champ. So why the hell would he be in any rush? Why would he be in any rush to get back in there with Klitschko? I mean, Wilder. Why would he? And he's not. Why would he? And he's not. He's not. It's clearly not.
No, it's not good for your career though, because the thing is, like I said, you're building a foundation on sand. And you know what? Sand, then. You know, in the day, you know, you fought Klitschko, you beat him. You fought Wilder to a draw, excellent. But end of the days, you know, you keep going to the well until eventually there's no water there. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna fight one of these bum guys there, and they're gonna pull it on you, mate. You know, and they've been happy to make you look good. You're coming out there wearing a polo, you know, having fun and all them things. They're singing after, and it's all well and done, But people like I'm yawning into that stuff now. I don't listen to his. I'll be honest with you, Raphie. I don't listen to his build up. I don't listen to him talking. And Wilder's build up. I don't really listen to Wilder until the fight is made, because Wilder. I remember Wilder was supposed to fight Povetkin. I remember that fight, right? And he went to Russia and Povetkin failed the drug test. I was still waiting to see that fight. In fact, Wilder, if Fury don't think, bro, take the rematch back with Povetkin and do a better job than AJ. You know what I mean? That's what you should do. So my whole thing with Wilder, that Fury, is like they talk so much before the fight, and I've been disappointed. So I just stay away from the build-ups, man, because them man can chat for days. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I like it to this day, though. I like to this day, Radio Raheem. To this day, you will say that ain't been said, Radio Raheem. Google that. Yeah, I like that.
To this day.
Yeah, to this day. Oh, to this day. That's what's up right there.
To this day. to this day. Yeah, so we pretty much talked about that Fury thing. I suppose before we go, it would be wrong not to touch on the what do you call it, the Luke Campbell versus Lomachenko, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
And the Charlie Edwards fight. You ain't done the Charlie Edwards.
No, done that. Done the Charlie. Done the Charlie Edwards. Done the Ryan Smith versus Boazzi. I'm going to let you talk about, because I'm all talked out about. Campbell and Lomachenko. I'm all talked out. So I'll let you give your analysis after you've had a couple of days to chew it over.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, the come out of it is Luke done very well, man. Luke has got Lomachenko in a place that maybe people think they can take him. And
yes.
He showed some real. He showed that he's definitely a good lightweight. And Loma had trouble against the taller guy. I know Luke Campbell was working on that George Groves punch, that hook to the body as Loma came in. He landed it. You know, and even though Loma knocked him down and stuff like that, Loma had a lot of trouble in that fight. And and when we were scoring, I was on your channel, I had Loma only winning by 1 round because of the knockout. You know what I'm saying? That's just I don't care what people say, because my scorecard was tallying up with Andre Ward's card at the same time. Mm-hmm. And even though near the end of the round, he had 2 points going to Loma, I had it the other way around. So our scorecards was very similar. And as I'm biased as I was scoring the round. So Luke done very, very well. The more I thought it was going to get, I thought it would be a mismatch, and it weren't entirely that. It was a competitive chest fight, and Luke acquitted himself well. Now Lomo, pound for pound, number one. No, I don't think so. Because Luke at that point against Linares and some other competition, even against Mendy, he struggled. So you're supposed to be pound for pound. Yes, you knocked him down. Yes, you won the fight and you picked another belt, but I don't think you're pound for pound, in my opinion. Number one, I think that goes to Terence Crawford. But at this point, the fight with Tank now, I was talking to Tunde, the fight with Tank now is going to be very interesting. He wants to come down, it was by Tank. But my whole thing is this, right?
Tank's just gone up though.
No, Tank should stay now. Tank's tiny, man. I've seen Tank in person. It's like hold
on a second. Tank has relinquished his belt and he's moving up to lightweight.
Is that what he said?
No. That's what's happening.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's moving up to lightweight, that's interesting because he's only 5'3", 5'4", and it's like. But the thing is, I can understand that because he has been struggling at the weight, like at super feather. He has been struggling. So if he's moving up to lightweight, that there and then, does people's power. As you go up, where you lose more power. Lomo's not a big.
You can lose it or you can gain it.
No, you don't gain it. I've never seen guys going up. The only guy I see that is Manny Pacquiao, and we know what I got on there, right? Actually, Roberto Duran was good though. Roberto Duran carried it from lightweight to middleweight.
Yeah, here's why I think Tank can carry it. Yeah. Because Tank looks like a naturally stocky guy.
Yeah, he's Tank. Yeah, but in terms of boxing, stamina and conditioning, it's different because Tank.
Oh no, hold on. I'm not talking about his stamina or condition. I'm talking about strictly about his power. I think Tank is one of the few guys who can carry power simply because he's seemed naturally a stockier guy. Mm. So if he goes up a few pounds, I think he will carry power up, if not increase it. However, he will likely lose on stamina.
Yes, there you go, exactly. But I don't think if they make the fight, I think they might fake because they're not that big. They could make it at a catch weight where it is for the lightweight belt, but they come in a certain way. Who's the draw? Let's be honest with you. Tank is the draw. He's the A side in that fight. He to me, Tank brings in the most money. Why does Loma have to come to England? The thing, did the crowd in the UK turn up for Luke or did they turn up for Loma? I think they're both.
Yeah, but Tank is. I mean, sorry, Lomo's pulling in better numbers though on the TV views. He's bringing in better numbers than Tank.
Yeah. All right. Well. Hey, listen.
Tank is in the draw. Tank is in the draw. Tank has a core following, yes, but Loma does better TV numbers.
All right. Let's go to this, right?
Yeah.
this is how we can compare it, right? So both of them had debuts. Both of them had debuts in the UK, right? One was in one was in what was it in Stratford? What's that place in Stratford? The Olympic.
Okay.
One was in what was that place in the where Tank was? I was there actually. What was the place?
Tank 14. I don't know. I'll look it up. Carry on though. I'll look it up.
Yeah, and Lomo fought in those two. So now you can compare it in terms of because I was there and the whole place was sold out. A place called Thingy Stadium. It was a place where was the boxing, right? So both of them, look at the attendance here on both of them in the debut, and both of them was the main event. I think it's comparable. I think it's about the same. You know what I mean? I think it's about Mayweather was there. Mayweather was there in promotion, right? Remember again, it's not just Tank you're talking, you know. Mayweather comes with that energy because people want to see Mayweather project. So in my opinion, this is my opinion because Mayweather's with him, they're the draw.
Upper Box Arena, Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, Hackney.
Yeah, the Copper Box. That's right. There you go. The Copper Box. That's right.
Yeah. Liam Walsh.
Yes, exactly. Liam Walsh. Look at the attendance now. Because remember, I was there now. There was a good Andy Yard was on that card. It was a good card. And Tank was the main event, right? That was their debut. And ram packed, sold out. You know what I mean? Now they were 0-2. I don't know, but in my opinion, I don't know, but I think it's pretty close. The attendance. You know what I mean? So, and then again, Lomo in America. I don't think he does big tickets I think Tank does more numbers in America. That's just my thing. He sells more. He does. But Mayweather, like I said, got Mayweather Promotions backing him. Fox, Showtime. I think they do numbers. So I think the fight happens in America. It draws more. Lomo. He's American again. Like if it's in America with Tank there, they're gonna come out. People are gonna come out to see Lomo. They do. But I think in general, they're the A side slightly, not too much, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, the fight itself will be a great fight. I don't know why Lomo didn't fight Mikey Garcia, right? I don't know why he didn't fight Mikey Garcia. But let's go back to the fight itself. Look, Luke quit himself well, and like I said to you, Lomo to me, it looks like he might be on the dip, or maybe it's the weight club, but he wants to be undisputed. He wants to fight the winner of Richard Comey and Teofimo Lopez. So that fight in itself is good. So there's some really great fights at the lightweight. And hey, listen, the lightweight division is one of the best divisions in boxing, along with the middleweight division, where it hasn't been good for a while. But the lightweight division looks like it's percolating. We might get undisputed champion. Lomo's looking to be undisputed. He has what's he got? He got 3 belts already. He wants 1 more belt to be undisputed. Yeah. And can he do it? I ain't gonna lie to you. Out of the two of them, the Teofimo Lopez fight looks like I think Lomachenko beats Teofimo Lopez. I think he beats him. But the Cormier fight, Richard Cormier, that one there, that's the one I want to see. The Cormier one, the kid from Ghana. I hope he gets through. I hope he wins that fight, bro. You know what I mean? I do. I really do. I think hopefully he can win that fight, and we can have a Ghana versus the Ukraine fight, bro. I like that fight. You know what I mean? Let's see what Lomo does there. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe Tank fight the winner out of that. So
yes, some interesting thoughts being shared right there. Okay, so the Copper Box has a 7,000 seat capacity.
That's the maximum.
7,000 seat capacity. Compare that to the O2 Arena of 20,000 capacity.
Now listen to this. Did they use the whole arena?
Did they use the whole arena?
Yeah, because usually the arena's cut in half. They cut it in half, you know. Sometimes they cut it in half.
They don't cut it in half. They can sometimes curtain certain sections off.
No, they cut. What they do, they cut off the rest of the other thing, and they have the rest where it's the middle. So did they use the whole? Did they use the whole arena?
I can't speak on that. I can't speak on how many tickets were sold. I mean, I can Google that. I can have a look at that.
Yeah. If you can Google that and get the information, then that will qualify it. Because if the Copper Box is 7, I thought Copper Box could be more than 7. You sure it's 7? Only
7,000 capacity. 7,000 capacity. How many tickets? Let's do this live. How many tickets were sold for Lomachenko versus
He's on
Campbell.
20. Ab's got them. They said 20K. They said it was 20.
He's 20K sold. 20K sold.
20,000. Okay, so that's more anyway. Wow, the only cover box only 27. Damn, bro.
So Lomachenko tickets sold. Yeah, I can't find it. So we'll take the 20,000. We'll take the 20,000 because you remember they had the co-main event, which a lot of people were looking forward to also. In the Povetkin versus Fury. So it was like two main events. It was two main events, although they call it the co-main event, but it's two main events, so they would have had to have sold 20K. They had to have sold 20K.
Okay, I'll leave it as that then. He does better numbers. He's done better numbers then.
So he does better numbers, and also the TV numbers in America. Loma does better numbers. So it is my contention that Loma is still the A side versus Tank handily, because Tank's numbers over in the US, they're very poor. He's talking about 500,000, 400,000, 500,000, whereas Lomo is washing him with the numbers. So it's very much Loma to me is very much the B side. There's no doubt in my mind, no shadow of a doubt in my mind. And when he comes over into the UK, Tank ain't selling 20K. Tank ain't selling 20K over in the UK. Admittedly, the Loma v Campbell fight was bolstered by a sought after fight in Povetkin versus Fury. Yeah, it was. That was a very sought after fight. People thought, and to be fair, a lot of people are poo-pooing the fight after the fight. But when we were watching it, it was quite exciting. When we were watching that fight, it was quite exciting. We were excited to see what was going to happen.
Yeah, he was.
We were. People now, after the event, they're going, no, it was rubbish, it was this, it was that. But listen, live.
Is that what they're saying? Who's saying that?
Certain people are saying, it was rubbish, this, that, and the other. But at the time, live, I've heard somebody say that. I've heard more than one person say that, but live, it was very enthralling. Looking back, yeah, you can say this or you can say that, but live, Raphie's not a lightweight. No, I'm not a lightweight. Who says I'm a lightweight? No, not at all, my friend, not at all. I checked myself on the scale the other day. I'm definitely not a lightweight. No way, no how. But anyway, so that is what weight class is Raphie. Heinrich Schmitz, put your donation in the donation box, and I can tell you what weight category I'm in. We can take a picture of the numbers on the scale, but get your donation in first, my friend. First things first. First things first. So yeah, like I said, Tank's moving up when he knows that Loma's moving down after he deals with his who's the last guy? Who's the last guy with the belt this guy deal with in lightweight?
Yeah, Richard Cormier fighting.
Richard Cormier. Okay, Richard Cormier. So Tank knows that Loma's already said once he's dealt with that, he's coming down. So I don't understand why Tank's relinquished his belt. Is it anything to do with Tevin Farmer?
Nah, I think it's the weight, man. He struggles at the weight. He's been struggling at the weight. Even when I watched him at the weigh-in, he went 3 times to the scales.
Yeah.
When he was defending his belt, when he beat was Perez, right? So and then after that, he won the belt again, and he still struggles at the weight. So I think he's just having trouble at the weight. Remember, he's with Mayweather eating steak and potatoes every day, just fine living, and I think the food is catch up with him. He's very short to move up, but hey, listen, he's a tank, you know. He's moving up.
Yeah.
He's up to lightweight. There's some good fights from at lightweight for him to go, but Tank, he's not very disciplined in terms of the weight. Look, the Lomo fight, Lomo realized that he's not really a big lightweight, but he's doing his thing out there. These guys, hopefully, I don't think Mayweather wants to fight though. I don't think Mayweather wants that bloody fight. I don't think Mayweather will take it.
Which fight?
The Tank fight.
Mm-hmm. Tank versus who? I mean,
Tank versus Lomo. I don't think Mayweather. I don't think they'll take that fight.
He's wary of Loma.
Yeah, man. He's just, I think Tank as a fighter will, but I don't think Mayweather was thinking we're still young, we need to wait. But Loma looks like he's ready for the taking. That's why against Campbell, I think he looks like he's ready for the taking. He looks vulnerable.
He's ready for the taking against Campbell style, but that doesn't mean he's ready for the taking against Tank style.
But he's not moving. But the thing is, the shots he got caught with, he was just right in front of him. He didn't really move. What was all the movement and stuff? He was right there. You know what I mean? And Luke was wide. You're right, but he's there. And even in his last fight, he was bleeding. He's been bleeding for a couple of fights. His face gets marked up a lot. You know, so that suits Tank standing right in front of him. So you know, but I don't know if Mayweather wants to fight. I don't know if they want that fight right there. You know what I mean? So you know, hopefully we'll see what Tank's doing, because I know that he does struggle at the weight, and I think that's the reason why he's moving up. Probably just to try and test the waters to see what he does up there. But
so why didn't he fight? Why didn't he fight Tevin Campbell in his last fight instead of Nunes guy? Because if he knows that he's struggling at the weight, why not take the big the zone money, the matchroom money, rather than fight the little peanuts for Nunes or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, you know what that is though. You know what that is. That's that Al Heyman and things.
Yes, the Al Heyman.
Yeah, that business there. That that's how they guys. They stay on that side of the fence, and
that's how they roll.
Yeah, even Bob Arum's like, yo, what's with this? But the thing is, it makes funny, right? Them guys was trying to sue Al Heyman, trying to drive him out the business when the PBC first came in. And when Al Heyman had ESPN, Al Heyman had ESPN and all of them, yeah. Now Bob Arum's got ESPN. Bob Arum was hard stat on HBO, and he left HBO because now he's on ESPN, and now you know what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, you try to sue Al Heyman, and now you're saying, why ain't he making the fights? Like, what, you think we're old and we don't remember that? You try to sue him. Why would he do business with some guy trying to sue him when he just came into the scene? What you'd want to do, you'd want to make fights, but what they did, they didn't like the idea that another guy was coming to monopolize. But when you was monopolizing, so I'm not really pointing the finger. It's bad for us because we can't get some fights. But that whole situation is bad. But I've been saying that there's been some crossroads fights. Eddie Hearn don't care. Eddie Hearn will put these guys on different platforms. And Al Heyman as well, definitely, because he's a member. Ruiz was a PBC guy, right?
Yeah.
He put matchroom and stuff like that. So there is some wiggle room, you know.
But Ruiz was like Ruiz wasn't a blue chip. Ruiz wasn't a blue chip PBC guy though. He just come over. He was an expendable.
Okay, but you could say that, but he still came over. They could have said no. They could have said no.
But what I'm saying is that they put Ruiz over there. They let Ruiz go over there because he was an expendable.
What about the middleweight, Jacobs?
Danny Jacobs. Yeah, he's with Matchroom though, isn't he?
No, he's with Al Heyman.
Danny Jacobs from New York. No. Danny Jacobs from New York.
Yeah.
He's with Matchroom.
He's promoted by Matchroom, but he's still managed by Al Heyman. Yeah.
He's still got some ties, but he's a Matchroom guy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's where the cross is. I'm trying to say Al Heyman doesn't mind working with Eddie Hearn. So what I'm saying is there's a wiggle room with Eddie Hearn. You just need a mediator between Bob Arum and that. So they can't fight. You just need a mediator. The zone, for some reason, Ruiz went over there. You're right, but he's still with Al Heyman. They still have they have the belt.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that I'm saying my hypothesis is that they let Ruiz go and fight Joshua because he's not a blue chip. He's not a blue chip PBC guy. You know, blue chip. You know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, cemented, but but the thing is, I understand that. But what I'm saying to you is that he is, but the other reason he hasn't had a chance to fight because the rematch clause has been in effect, and that's what they're dealing with right now.
And furthermore, Ruiz kicked up a stink about the rematch, so that's when the Al Heyman effect kicked in. Once Ruiz won, it was a different ball game.
Well, hey, listen, he done a Tunde jail. He done stuff to buff up the money, right? He done this stuff to percolate the money up, to get the money up so he can continue with that house. You're right. But the thing is, look, the bottom line is this: all that politics stuff aside, hopefully we get the fights. You know what I mean? We just want to see the fight. So then guys need to sort it out and try and get the fights. Now, I hope Mayweather does let Tank fight. I always wanted to see Tank versus Lomo and Tank.
You know how it goes. Come on. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. The PBC, they want to operate within their own little circle. They want to exist within their own little circle. They don't care about any other entities outside of PBC.
Well, that's the thing. Well, listen to this, right? End of the day, these networks, promoters, they can move. So one guy moves out, one guy moves in. Al Heyman has ESPN, and then Bob Arum has ESPN. Bob Arum can move to Fox. You know what I'm gonna say? So there's moving around to different brands. It's still the same. It's just the network's still there. It's just the way the promotion is. Al Heyman is looking after his investment in Fox and Showtime. So end of the day, that's what they're doing, right? And end of the day, if you want the big money, pay-per-view, if you want to stay on the zone where you have a set budget, they pay you whatever big budget, but the pay-per-view is more. You know what I mean? The pay-per-view is where people make the money. So it's up to them where they go. All I say is a fight fan. I just want to see the fights, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you have to acknowledge, surely you acknowledge the PBC act as an impediment to seeing the fight, towards seeing the fight. The zone, Eddie Hearn, he'll make the fight in a drop of a hat.
Yeah.
But that's not the case with the PBC.
But the thing is, you're saying that for the fight's been made, right? The Ruiz fight has been made, isn't it? It's been made. If we was talking about Al Heyman,
but I reiterate, Ruiz had just come over from Top Rank. He had to buy himself out. And then it is my hypothesis, it is my argument. It is my argument that they made they allowed Ruiz to go over there because he was not a blue chip PBC guy. He was an expendable.
I got you in that. But the bottom line, he is now. At the end of the day, he's got a rematch, and the fight is happening. So they've worked out. The problem is with Bob Arum and the PBC, not with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn and the Al Heyman, they work out whatever. They've done that before. And they've been doing it again. They don't have a problem. The zone.
They couldn't. How come? If there's no problem, how come they couldn't make the Anthony Joshua fight, my friend?
Anthony Joshua fight who?
Versus Wilder.
Oh yeah, that's a different thing. That's interesting because how come Eddie Hearn didn't make it when Anthony Joshua was in Showtime? What about that one? What about that question?
How come he didn't make it with who?
Anthony Joshua and Wilder when both of them was on Showtime. Why didn't that fight happen?
Yeah. That's a good question. That's a good question. What's your hypothesis?
My saying is that they was there. Someone didn't want that fight to happen. Now, who that is, you could make an argument. But all I know is they were both on Showtime, and they just beat Klitschko, and after that, he was still there. Now, I know, and I have it by sure that Anthony Joshua. Listen to this now. Does a fight by fight basis. I've got some information that Anthony Joshua is his own manager. Now, this is news now that I just found out today. Right, in the British Border Control, there's a stipulation after I believe 10 fights that the fighter can manage himself. You don't need a manager, right? So Andy Joshua in effect is his own manager. So that 25% that Andy Joshua has been given away, he keeps for himself. So what Andy Joshua has decided to do, he does a fight by fight basis. So Andy Joshua is in control of the fight. Andy Joshua is the one who doesn't want the fight, or he decides. After 10 fights, Andy Joshua could have made the fight. So he's the one deciding whether to go here or there. Eddie Hearn doesn't advise him, right, as a promoter. But Andy Joshua was the one who makes the decisions. So if you wanted the chip, so it goes squarely on the shoulders of the fighter, Andy Joshua, who is his own manager right now.
Yeah. He was trying to make the fight, though.
So he says. But if that's the case, why he was at Showtime. Again, after 10 fights, he was his own manager.
Yeah,
right?
but there's nothing to say that he particularly wanted the fight while he was at Showtime.
He didn't want the fight. There you go, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So why?
No. But then he left Showtime and he went to Matchroom, and then he did want the fight.
He won. He got the fight with Klitschko, right? He won the fight with Klitschko to pick up another belt, right?
Yeah.
Then he was still on Showtime, right?
Yeah.
Now I believe with the Parker fight, I'm not too sure if that the zone wasn't there then, right? So that fight was still on Showtime, wasn't it? Showtime and Sky.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Showtime. See the fight with Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
They were still with Sky and Showtime.
Okay.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, any point, even though Josh was picking up the belts, right? Wilder was still there all the while, right? Wilder made the offer about the 50 mil, and that's where this whole thing kept on going back. But he was still with Showtime at that point.
Yeah.
Josh then elected to have a fight, to take the zone money, fight by fight deal, and that's what Joshua was doing, right?
Yeah.
Now he still is not in no contract. Listen to this: no contract with the zone, so he's not a zone guy, right? He fights with them, whoever's gonna give the most money. So he can fight his next fight on Showtime.
Yeah.
So end of the day, why is the fight not happening? I don't know. What I know is it's not happening. That's what we do know. You know what I mean? It's not happening. Right now he's got Ruiz and then after that we see what's going on. But Joshua, if he wants to fight, Joshua offers them money. But remember again, the other challenger has to say, yeah, cool, because Wilder's got belts as well. So the money.
Wilder has one belt.
Yeah, I understand that, but why didn't Dillian take the fight? Why did Dillian say they were shortcutting him? Why
Wanted
did
more money.
Yeah, of course they all wanted more money, and that's what Maurice did. He just done a Tunde Ajayo. He just said certain things out there. I'm not going here. I'm not going there, and then they buffed the money up, and that's it. That's what they did. It's hustling, right? So, it squarely lies on the guy who has control of where they fight. And Joshua, if Joshua doesn't want to fight Wilder, or he does want to fight Wilder and gives Wilder peanuts, like he made offer, but he gave him peanuts. Well, so
100 mil for 3 fights.
Who's got 100 mil?
100 mil for 3 fights. That's what they offered. That's what they offered Wilder.
Oh, the zone. But Joshua's not. Joshua doesn't fight by fight base. You don't have to fight Joshua. That's the zone. If they're doing fight by fight, Joshua's still not hold to any contract. You see what I'm saying? You're basically on the zone. He doesn't mean.
Yeah, I know that, but they offered Wilder 100 mil for 3 fights. One with Breezel, and then 2 with Joshua.
Yeah,
and he declined.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, I don't know, man. I couldn't answer that one. That's the funny thing I can't even get. We made that this time with ESPN. This ESPN Raphie got me in corner. What did this start with ESPN and Al Heyman? That's why they don't really get along, because Bob Arum and De La Hoya are trying to sue Al Heyman, and Al Heyman comes from the record.
Al Heyman stole De La Hoya's fighters.
Did he steal them?
Stole them.
Let's go back to that then. Let's go back to that, right?
Yeah.
So how did the fighters come to De La Hoya?
Because De La Hoya took his eye off the ball. He was in his kitchen. There was some fishnets involved. and the geezer, what's his name? Schaefer, who was working for De La Hoya, defected over to Al Heyman and took De La Hoya's fighters with him.
All right, let's go. Schaefer, right? Schaefer and Al Heyman were working together to make the great fights, right? And Golden Boy was profiting, and their company was one of the biggest companies because Schaefer was working for Golden Boy, and Al Heyman was doing his thing, and they were working together. Also, you have Oscar De La Hoya, and you had Shea Mosley, and so Shea Mosley brought in some fighters. He brought in Guerrero. Bernal Hopkins brought in Danny Garcia, right? So they were all working together to bring fighters in. Oscar didn't do anything. He didn't do anything, right? He was just sitting up and coked up. Let's be real, right? So all these guys are doing all the heavy lifting, right? So when Oscar said, "I'm coming back. I don't like what you guys are doing in my company. I'm taking control," but he never done none of the. He didn't do none of the actual going out and recruiting. He never did that. What's Oscar know about recruiting? He goes to Guadalajara Harbor and gets Canelo. He brought Canelo in, but the other guys from their demographic, they brought in the other guys. So when Austin said, "I'm taking control and I don't like what you guys are doing," they elected to leave. And when they left, the fighters went with them, the ones they recruited. So the fighters who Schaefer recruited went with Schaefer.
Did they leave with them or were they taken?
Well, listen to the Schaefer. They blocked Schaefer from being a manager, so he couldn't go with him. So Schaefer told Al Heyman to look after my fighters until I get my stuff ready. So Al Heyman took the fighters who were signed to him, and that's what happened. So when you ask me, did Oscar go? They were under his stable, but he never recruited them.
Yeah, I never said they recruited them, my friend. I never said he recruited them. They were in his stable, and then they were stolen, theft. That's why Al Heyman got taken to court by Golden Boy.
Yeah, and he lost. Thrown out of court because it wasn't proven that he was.
No, it was settled out of court.
It was settled out of court.
You settled out of court.
I know I heard it was thrown out of court. I didn't get nothing.
There's lots of different things, but what I heard,
it was thrown out of court.
No, man, it was out of court settlement.
No, there was not.
Out of my friend. We're gonna have to chop this up another time because it's a very interesting topic. It's very interesting. We're gonna have to. I'm sure it's been entertaining for the people. We're gonna have to tease out some more threads out of this story. We're gonna have to tease out some more threads out of this story because we have two different understandings. Your understanding is that it was thrown out of court. My understanding was that it was agreed. to be an out of court settlement. So you see, there's still some things to talk about in that area.
Yeah,
My good man, there's still some things to talk about in that area.
Yes.
But I think, have we chopped it all up?
You know what? I think the Fury and Povetkin fight. I think that's because I've seen you got it on the Povetkin fight. I'll cover that briefly. Fury got set up by Eddie Hearn. He been thrown to the walls. I don't know what he done. I think he might fight Dave Allen on the comeback. Povetkin, hey, listen, he come back with a good win over a good contender, and I look forward to see Povetkin fight some live dogs. Yeah, so I like the fight. Povetkin was a really good fight for Povetkin, and hopefully, I'd love to see the fight that we talked about, Ortiz versus Povetkin, or Povetkin versus Wilder. I love to see. Hey, what about this one, Povetkin versus Fury? I love to see any of them fights there. Povetkin.
You mean Tyson Fury?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see that.
Yes. I like to see Povetkin in some good fights against some of these guys because he's still showing that he has something, and it was a good win for him. So congratulations to Povetkin on that win.
100% congratulations to Povetkin on that win. We could talk a lot longer, but you know what? I think we've given people their money's worth. And talking about money's worth, I don't think my phone is buzzed. Where's my phone? I think it must be on charge. Phone must be on charge. But every time you make a donation, I get an immediate notification on the phone. And remember, the live show, which I'm sure many of you enjoyed, was paid for by your fellow subscribers. And all it takes is the price of a pint of beer per month, and that will keep the PPV payments flowing, and that's the first step. The more at the moment, there's only a few donators. We're looking to increase that number, get the donations up. The more the donations go up, the more activities, the more special features we can feature on the channel. So for sure, hit that share button so more people get to know about Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. What else is there? Housekeeping. What else? Housekeeping. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm pushing right now. I'm also pushing the Twitter. So if you have not subscribed to my Twitter, look in the description box. It's not there right now, but any of the videos, every video will have a description box, and the link for my Twitter will be in the description box. The link for the donations. Remember, we're just looking at the price of a pint of beer every month. I'm very happy and very proud that we were able to do our first PPV, which was self-funded by subscribers. Very proud about that. So that's one target that's already been met. Want to keep that rolling, keep the subscriptions rolling, get the shares up. We're looking to push the shares up because I get the analytics and it tells me how many people have shared. So that's an area that we're definitely looking to push up. We want to get those share numbers up. The more you share, the more subscriptions we get. The more subscriptions we get, the more opportunities we create. Very happy with the progress so far. Very, very happy indeed. We've been privileged enough to have EJ Boxing take time out of his day. So for sure, make sure you show your appreciation in terms of smashing that like button, smashing the subscription button, and smashing that share button. Share on your social media platforms. Let's get this thing popping even more than it's popping. And, sky's the limit. EJ Boxing, we've come to a close. It's been a privilege to have you share your unique brand here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. You find your final words, sir.
Yo, it's always a pleasure to come on Raphie Dawkins, man. Like you're one of the great contributors to YouTube boxing community. Make sure you guys obviously thumbs the video, share the video, as Mr. Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio said. I always look forward to come on. You know, sometimes we disagree, we agree, but you know, we're here to entertain the you viewers, listen to the show. He, like he said, the contact is there. Make sure you obviously donate, share the video around, and I appreciate Raph letting me come on. You know, come on this channel, man. I really appreciate it. And obviously, Raph, welcome to come on my channel anytime as well.
Most definitely. You have already extended invitations, which I appreciate. And at some point, I will have the free time to do so. As you know, I'm self-employed, so you know time is very, very limited. But absolutely, one day we're gonna make it happen, my friend. You know, the timing will be good, and for sure, we're gonna make that happen. No doubt at all. Okay, so I'm saying good night to EJ Boxing, and we are saying good night to you in the chat. It's Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comment, it's the shares, and it is hitting that bell icon. You have been in tune to Live Boxing Talk with Raphie, episode 42. Okay, we've done all the housekeeping. We've said our goodbyes. I say my last thank you to EJ Boxing. I say my last thank you to Big Boys Boxing. And of course, my last thank you to you, the chat. It's Raphie Dawkins, Combat Radio. And we are out. Blessed. Thanks, EJ.